But
That's
now
your height, cunt.
no, he's not. He's
And
like,
that'd be like good height for Bali.
I think your girl would have to step in and like defend you.
Oh.
Like you'd have to hide behind her. And she's on his-
Let's move on.
You just wait. You wait.
No, you're back
You
and let him
wait.
shoot. We're back.
is that what you wanted just to get out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
god.
putting it in the air.
Fuck,
Yo.
don't say that.
You don't
man.
deserve it. Fuck
No.
you. Fuck you.
Fucking hell.
I hope you end up.
fucked
No,
up.
I'm not going to even
I'm
answer
getting a
that.
phone call. I need to get out.
Yeah, all right.
Conference.
We're back, guys. Welcome back. Euros is done. Copa America's done. Riley's relationship is
Done.
on the rocks.
On the rocks. I'm telling you guys.
Can't even put that out there.
I put it out there. Fuck, watch out.
And
I'm
all
putting-
because Riley said Samuel will get robbed in Bali.
Oh my god.
Before we get into the episode, to my very right, you don't have to hold this right now.
Oh, what's this for? All right. Blame Samuel, aka Samuel.
He's
Here.
rocked after that. I reckon he's rocked. I've never seen him break character already.
I don't have a character.
You've had 3 name changes.
I'm here in place of MJ today because he couldn't make it. I think he had his baptism today.
Gastro.
Yeah, both at the same time. So they had to wash him off and then baptize him. But yeah.
To my left.
Got best young chef in Canberra, best FIFA player in Let Him Shoot in Canberra,
true,
best
that.
2K player in Let Him Shoot in Canberra.
Untrue for that one as well.
RA skills, you know what it is.
Okay.
You should just change this to raw skills.
Raw
Yeah.
skills?
Yeah.
Ras Clark.
Right. I might actually.
To his
one?
left.
Which one?
Both.
Yes. What did he say?
Huh?
Say it.
Which one?
The one he said, the name.
I couldn't hear. I just imagine him getting robbed in Bali.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm telling you, you.
Buds.
Pretty boy bud.
That'd be good. I'd love to have that relationship.
Pretty boy bud. I'll do a quick question of the week is, what is the best salt? Oh no, not question of the week. Fact of the week. Take Celtic salt in the morning, just a pinch. Every morning
I
when you
think
wake
it's
up.
Celtic, man.
Celtic, same thing. They spelled the same, so it sounds the same.
Yeah, that's
But take a little pinch, put it on your tongue, drink it with water. You thank me later.
What's
And
that
search it
doing
up.
for you?
Just search it up. It's really good for you.
Yeah,
Really
why?
Has a lot of the supplements you need throughout the day, or just your body. The 30 minute is very good. Don't use table salt. It's actually one of the worst salts you can do.
Yeah, I heard
Celtic salt.
Like, you should become a
Celtic, yeah.
naturopath. With all this ball knowledge you have.
I don't like nature that much, bro.
True. Guys, before we start, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Today we're going to leave you some time to make sure you've at least commented.
How many days you've been taking Celtic salt for?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
there's going to be no
We're
comments
gonna
this
wait
week
for a
on
few
these
seconds.
episodes.
And it's not. I'm not talking about like the Celtic warrior. Not talking about salt from Ireland. I'm saying Celtic salt.
Where is Celtic salt from? I thought it was from Ireland.
Yeah.
Just salt. I don't
I thought it
know.
was from the
Scotland.
Celtic region.
You think all the salt comes from
Scotland, sorry.
Scotland, not Ireland.
Yeah. Well,
No,
it is
it-
a shamrock
it's-
on there.
Celtic, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it is from.
So maybe it is from Ireland.
Maybe it's Irish.
there?
Irish.
Yeah, why are you bringing fake facts?
I don't know. It's your fact.
Yeah, he changed
tell me.
it. I said
I
said
said-
Ireland. You said Scotland.
I said maybe it's from Scotland. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're Celtic.
Celtic's
football
from
clubbies.
from Ireland.
Celtic football
Celtic
club.
Celtic salt is a type of natural salt that is harvested from the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of France and Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I meant don't
Don't
get
use
it.
that
Don't think it's like the Celtic warrior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Seamus.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you guys know Seamus, you know.
Yep. Facts. All right, guys. Today
What
we're
are we
going to
doing?
start with Euros
Yeah, for
review.
sure.
Not review, but talk about a few points. Euros over Spain 2, England 1. We all watched the game.
God.
Most of us were up talking,
Not
chatting.
bad, though.
Deny extremely upset. He had receipts ready. He was ready to press send. He got denied. He got
Good. Wow.
Second time.
Spain 2, England 1. Thoughts on the game? Thoughts on the final? Spain were deserved winners. Samuel was probably the most happy of everyone. I didn't mind who won, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
Football won.
I just didn't want English fans
Mm.
to get worse because they're already losers. Well, some,
Yeah,
not
no,
all,
you can
but
say
a lot of
they
people are just like overhyping them and saying how good performances they had. Like some of the game against Slovenia, people were saying like, oh, they played so well and stuff like that. Like scraped a win.
Switzerland or Slovakia?
Slovakia.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
But like, I don't think that was probably their best performance in the actual final itself. Their run to get to there was just pathetic. Definitely not deserved to be there. So
Yeah, considering Spain's run in the tournament, for them to win is probably the
Deserved.
most deserved thing to
Yeah, of
happen.
course.
And in the final, they were the better side. Still only won 2-1. 86-minute goal for Oyarzabal.
Ariazabal.
Thoughts on England, another tournament where they fall short again. Like we said to Bud, they haven't got to the game and won. They haven't got to the big game and won. And again, the same things happen. History repeated itself, Bud. Is there any change? Did you see a change in England mentality, performance, anything?
I think people blame Southgate for group stage and then the knockout stages up until the final, and then they decide to now switch and now blame the players for the final. Been hearing a lot of stick going to Jude, Kane a little bit, even though he should be getting most of it. Saka got it throughout the group stages. I'm just wondering, like, what do they want from this coach? As a guy, he's been very successful. He's gotten his teams twice he's been to the final.
Yep.
He got knocked out in the World Cup by a good friends team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, what more do they want from someone that's doing his job correctly? Is it now down to the players? Like, they're all talented enough to be able to be like, right, this is not working. We can change this within ourselves. Like, we hear so many times a coach can only do so much before the actual kickoff. He can't control what happens on the game. He can control subs and things, but performances that are terrible from players, that's not his fault. But he still gets blamed for certain things. Like, he's put on a player that's done good in his season, like Kane, but then can't perform or can't do anything in game. That's not Southgate's problem. I think that's players. So I think, like I said the other day, I don't think Southgate's to blame for any of this. I think it's down to the players and how they play. And it shows that this is their normal level, but why they're performing like this is not the coach's fault. I don't think it's his fault at all.
So to you, did the players disappoint?
Yeah, I'm saying that the players disappointed throughout this whole tournament.
Okay.
Because no matter who he put on, the problem seemed to be the exact same. Like, it looked like the problem was still there, even when he changed and put Gallagher, even when he had Trent and took him out and put someone else, the problem was still the exact same. So people are asking for changes. He cut Maguire. Maguire, brought in Guehi. He cut
Sterling and Rashford.
Yeah. And it's like, it still looks like the exact same problem we faced last tournament, or they faced last tournament.
Interesting.
Last tournament. So it's like,
Baby deny.
clearly, it's deeper than just Southgate. I think it's like, it must be like just a toxic thing for England. I feel like it's the same thing United face every league year. I think it's like there's something that you can't really put, like you don't know what it is, but you know it's something. I don't think the media know, us fans know. I think it must be something internal that maybe the coaching staff know. Maybe there's the rivalries that these guys see each other every time. It has something to do with that. I don't know. But
Okay.
I don't think the answer to everyone's problem is Southgate.
Okay.
It's just a scapegoat way to say it. But look, he's gotten to a final. What more can he do? He can't strap up and go in and play.
Of course.
He can't go in there and play.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's pathetic that they blame him for something
Yeah.
when he's gotten them to where they should be
Mm.
or where they're expected to be with that kind of level of players.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think was the biggest problem in the final, specifically for England?
I think players were hiding from the England.
Players are
England
hiding.
camp.
Yep. Talk about him.
I think Jude
Oh, really?
Jude put in. I saw a highlight reel of Jude. I thought it was going to be good highlight. It was the highlight was called Jude put in like a 3 out of 10 against Spain, and it was atrocious.
I didn't think he was that bad.
To be fair to Jude,
After I watched this highlight, I thought it was going to be a good highlight reel, right? But I looked at the title again, and it was just Jude puts in a 3 out of 10 performance. Touches like sporadic everywhere. He's running straight. He's left the ball, and he's still going this way.
I don't know. To be fair to Jude,
Generational talent Foden was way worse.
I don't think Jude.
Yeah, I
hid.
know, but I'm saying
Jude didn't hide
the
at
players-
one point of the game.
I think
don't
players were hiding.
I think Kobe
the sense of-
Mainoo definitely hid.
Yeah,
throughout
that's
that
another
game.
one.
I thought Foden definitely hid throughout that game.
I don't want to be
think
hearing Foden is fucking.
miles clear of everybody.
I don't want to hear next big talent since Rooney. I don't want to hear any of that. Because when Foden puts on an England shirt, I don't know what I'm meant to be seeing.
You don't know, yeah,
It wasn't
like
even
you
just the
say.
final. That was whole
Yeah, the whole
for
tournament.
him.
That's one of the funniest.
I think it's a mixture. I meant like a mixture of hiding and poor performances from key players. You can't be English Premier League player of the season and not show the reason why you're English player, the Premier League player of the season. I didn't see it one game,
I agree.
but Starboy on the right gets stick,
Yeah.
gets moved to left back, doesn't complain, plays there. Gets moved to right wing back, doesn't complain, plays there. Kane puts in a stinker of a 9 performance I've seen. I think Watkins' cameos were better than any Kane performance in any game. Just because he scored in a couple of games, that doesn't mean his performances were good. Watkins was doing a much better job for England in the little time he got.
He barely played.
Yeah. And he showed more of what I thought England were going to be like, where they're fast, they're more like attacking team. England are not known for the defense. They've got like a lot of what's the word? Star power or whatever it is up front. That's why we watch the Premier League. All these players that are good for England are from midfield up. It's not defense. Stones is fucking shit anyways as well. It's a PSA as well.
Yeah, all the City players kind of.
They can't defend.
They showed why.
They can't defend.
Yeah.
Stones is just a pretty boy in defense. That's what I realized.
Honestly, after the game, I said that I think Foden owes Pep his life.
100%. I
think
agree.
he owes him his life because you see what's happening. Southgate, it's not like Southgate put him out of position.
Right.
He played him on the left, which he's played and performed for at City before. Then moves him into a double 10, which is apparently his position now, and it's his best position. And what does he do? Hide the whole game. He put up a stinker after stinker after stinker, and they calling him 007 again. Him now. He's the new 007. Because 7 games, 0 goals, 0 assists.
Deserved.
They're lucky.
I just don't. I saw somebody already edited a photo of Saka as an ape after the game.
And
Jesus Christ.
They're giving the wrong players. They're giving the wrong players heat. They're Harry Kane. I saw a thing and it was like in his last 4 finals that people want to talk about how he's the best player and he's the best striker in the world and he has been for some time. But in his last 4 finals, he hasn't managed 1 shot on target. If that's Drogba, he's not. You think Drogba's going to final without getting a shot on target?
No way.
It's just the presence alone. I don't feel Kane's presence.
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
match.
There's no presence. He has nothing. He's not taken. Surely if you think you're the best player in the world, one of the best strikers in the world, in one of these finals, you're at least taking the game by the scruff of the neck yourself and doing something, creating something. Regardless of if they're playing defensive, Chelsea played defensive for how many years of Drogba's career, yet he still showed up. So for me, if people want to talk about him being one of the best strikers of all time, I just don't think he can be because he has never shown that he can win anything.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody call him the biggest loser in sports history.
It makes sense.
Because 6 finals now, that is for him.
6.
And he's never won a single trophy. He's never even in a game where they're able to win a trophy. Has Harry Kane ever had one moment in his career that you'd be like, all right, nah, this guy's like, you can see he's winning them. He's taking them to even taking them to the final. He's like, yeah, this is on Harry Kane. And at the end of the final, you're like, he couldn't have done any more. We've never had that.
No.
So until that's even a possibility.
And I think people don't look at him in the match enough. There's so many times I see they're getting into positions where Saka will put a ball in or someone will put a ball in where he should be. And he's like 2-3
Thinks he's
steps
a number
behind
10.
where he should be,
Yeah.
and he's asking for the ball to feet. Striker that wants to score will move into the position, like will move into space. Haaland, I reckon if Haaland gets the chances Kane gets, or like the balls they're putting in for Kane, it's not like it's like a lack of service. Yeah. It's more, you look at Kane in those positions and he's always like just standing in the wrong position.
Or he's not in the box at all. He thinks he's a number 10.
And he's like frustrated because they're not playing it to
Yet
his
they're
feet.
playing with 2 number 10.
And it's like, you got to move. You got to create your own space as well.
Yeah.
Like a player can only do so much before supplying the ball across the box. You have to do your part in moving and creating space yourself.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
You guys see Van der Vaart say that after the game. He said Bellingham, like, maybe like he can wear the number 10, but he's not a number 10. Like he doesn't deserve
Actually,
to.
a lot of people were saying that he shouldn't be playing 10.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to wear 10. And I think the reason he plays 10 is because he's great at crashing the box.
Yeah.
And he's great at finishing when he gets those half chances. Like he's good in those areas, but he doesn't do the midfield work that a number 10 is supposed to do.
Yeah.
That brings me on to the next point of, did this Euro showcase that the Prem players are, one, overrated, or two, there should just be more ratings to other players that play in other leagues based on their performances versus. This was your big point of after watching the tournament, you were saying maybe we rate Prem players too high.
Facts. I think
Some.
Yeah, I think for me, there's definitely a disparity between why we rate English players and why we don't rate other players outside. And I think that's just purely down to not watching. I think it's purely down to just it's very lazy. And it's the same thing that the media do and journalists do, but it's just very lazy. Because you can watch somebody like Fabian Ruiz, and before the tournament, I would never have. I've watched him play for PSG a couple of times, but I've never been like, oh, he's elite. You know, he's amazing. But when you watch him in the tournament playing for Spain, and then you compare that to any of the English midfielders, whether it's Declan Rice, who I've said is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, or one of the best midfielders in the world, Bellingham is one of the best midfielders in the world, and obviously Kobbie Mainoo, not going to say too much because he's young. But Fabian Ruiz, in almost every single game, looked like the best midfielder on the pitch. And it's that same thing that I used to say when I used to watch Verratti and be like, this guy's amazing and he won't get the credit that he deserves because obviously he doesn't play in the Prem. But when you watch him play and when you watch Fabian Ruiz play, you can clearly see like, this guy's an elite footballer. He can like control the game. The things he can do, other midfielders can't do. And yet he's now 28 years old. And he will go throughout his career not really being rated. Yeah. Only this tournament will be the only thing to... He plays for one of the biggest clubs in the world, yet we still wouldn't have thought of him in that way.
I think also the Prem gasses up the wrong players because of what that team does. So, for instance, like a lot of City players like are overhyped, and the ones that should be hyped aren't hyped enough.
Akanji.
Like, for instance, Akanji versus Stones. If you look at City, people would say Stones is better. Yeah. But then you look at the Euros, Akanji 10 times better defensively.
Elite.
And can still play the ball just as good as Stones. So if you're going to say like, oh, but Stones is better on the ball, Akanji was so comfortable on the ball in all the games Switzerland played in.
Yeah.
Didn't have any problems. And defensively solid. You're not getting past Akanji. You look at Stones put in 2 games, defensive performances like that were, I guess, mistake prone.
He was the worst centre back of
even
the two.
Walker. Walker's another City player that also put in a terrible
tournament.
The last 2 games were awful.
Yeah.
Mistakes leading to goals and just things that you would expect because he's a City player, because he's English, you'd expect, they don't do that.
Yeah.
So I think had those roles been reversed and it was Akanji and Stone, swap Akanji for Stones in the goal, you would hear a lot more of like scrutiny towards these type of defenders and be like, oh, he should have been doing much better. And it's so silly that you bring the same like panel of people that do the Prem
to do the same.
To do the Euros. Like the people that the
punditries.
Punditries that do the Prem that now you bring them to Euros. Like you saw Gary Neville talk about Cucurella, who's been, I think he's been misprofiled by the Prem. They realize he's not yeah, he's not a good defensive player, but attacking and on the ball, he's so good for Spain. He was so good for Brighton. But because he went to Chelsea and you saw he lacked defensively, all of a sudden he's not a good left back anymore. And Gary Neville before the tournament said he's going to be the reason Spain aren't going to win. Now funny, you look at it and it's like he looks like an idiot.
You see Cucurella posted it, and said thanks Gary. Like
exactly. So like they've misprofiled the wrong players, both ways. They've gassed up the players that shouldn't be gassed up as much, and then they've now then talked about down on players that now you look at the tournament, you're like, this is terrible.
If Lenormand, like the Spain centre back, was English, they would be claiming that this guy is the best centre back in the world because defensively he was good and like he was aggressive and he wins balls in the air, but he can also play at his feet.
Yeah,
and if you compare his tournament to John Stone's, I don't know. I don't want to be the one to be like, these players are so much closer in level and ability, and if you watch them weekly, maybe they're better.
Same with Xhaka. Yeah. He leaves the Prem as a vicious, like aggressive footballer that loses his head all the time.
Bar his last season.
But he leaves with that kind of image. Everyone thinks of that though.
Yeah.
And then you see him at Leverkusen and then you see him at Switzerland. Yeah. Level-headed, captain of his country. You wouldn't make him your captain if he's that aggressive as the Premier League has made him out to be. And you look at him, he was controlling games far better than any English player in that midfield. I think
he had won 3 Man of the Match awards in this Euros.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Perfect segue. We're going to rate some of the players' performance in the Euros.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
They're right here. You put it here as well.
Not focused.
The first player we're rating is Rodri. 3, 2, 1. 3 Bs, 1 A. Samuel will go first.
For me, the best midfielder in the world.
I'm going to start calling you Krispy Kreme, bro.
Yeah.
For me, one of the best midfielders in the world. We saw how City players found it a little bit difficult in this tournament to perform and to play for their national team and get used to playing in a different system. But this guy, player of the tournament for a reason. For me, the best midfielder in the world, and his work gets underappreciated because it might look a bit more simple than other players, but he's unbelievable. And if I could pick somebody to have at Liverpool, I'd pick Rodri. He's unreal. And now he's leading Ballon d'Or race.
For me, I'm going to... Rodri, look, B. Great tournament. Do I think he was Spain's best player in the tournament? No.
I think he was.
Do I think he played in midfield with Spain's best player? Yes. Fabian Ruiz. For me, I think was better than Rodri this tournament. But this Rodri narrative of him being the best player in the world, it's just not true.
He's the best midfielder in the world.
It's not true. He cannot be the best player in the world. And I don't understand how he's now viewed as the best player in the world because literally 6 months ago, De Bruyne was the best player in the world.
Rodri is one of the best
and 6 months later, Rodri's now the best player in the world, and it's not De Bruyne anymore. I just don't understand how things drastically flip to the point where a player can come from nowhere and now be the best player in the world.
But everyone had him as the best DM in the world, without a doubt.
Being the best player in your position in the world does not make you even near the best player in the world because there can be multiple players in one position that can be the best player in the world.
It would put you close if you're the best DM in the world and you play for the best team in the world.
At one point, Busquets was easily the best DM in the world. He could have still been the 15th best player in the world.
And the competition for best players in the world now is nowhere near the level
just
of
because you're the best player in your position doesn't mean
he didn't come from nowhere. That's what I'm saying. He didn't come from nowhere, obviously.
For me, there's no way that Rodri is a better player than Mbappe. He's not a better player than Vinicius. He's not a better player than De Bruyne.
I think it's arguable.
But now we're saying he's the best player in the world. It doesn't make sense to me.
He's one of the best.
It's a lot to do with just being like, oh yeah, we're comfortable. I think it's more like we're comfortable with picking him because he has no faults at the moment. So let's just make him the best player.
I think so.
Him winning player the tournament was just like, even like, I don't even think he expected it.
I don't know, man.
It's just like yeah, Spain won, and yeah, you have to give it to one of the players there. But if you pick someone, I think a lot of other people would have been like, yeah, I agree with that choice if had it been someone else from that team.
Are you guys only putting his tournament a B because you think there were other people better than him on his team?
No, I'm just
No,
I'm putting him a
because
B
he was
because he didn't do
great.
anything.
No.
He was great.
that
I said,
warranted
yeah.
him being an A.
He controlled,
I said he had
every,
no faults.
he
spectacular
controlled
for me.
every single game that
I said
he
he
was
had
in.
no faults. I'm not saying it was his tournament that made him a B. I'm just saying I still see the same Rodri. Been seeing the same Rodri for 3 years.
Yeah, and
Doesn't mean he's gotten better, so he shouldn't be praised for better things. When
But I
like
think when
Jeremy
you're
said,
consistently
there's
great,
players in his team that have been like at higher points, and then they're like, yeah, this guy's the best, and then they drop off a bit, but because Rodri is still like here, they're like,
think-
oh, he has to be the best now.
I think when you're consistently great for a long time, later on in that time where you're consistently great, it's going to be worth more to have been very good for a long time.
What game can you be like, oh, he was the best player on the field in that game in this tournament?
You guys didn't think he was great in the France game, but I think he was the best player in the field in the France game.
I don't think
I
so.
think he was the best player in the field against Croatia.
You take those. All right. So say he was that best player in that game. That's probably like around here. But then you look at like other players in the tournament that were the best player in that game. Theirs would be like here. Like
I don't
that
agree.
peak would be here.
I don't agree.
I feel like Kante's performances, where he got man of the match, were better performances than when Rodri. You said Rodri was better for
I
that
think
game
it's-
against Croatia.
I think it's debatable, but I think you guys just prefer Kante.
No, I'm not just saying Kante. I'm saying
but I'm saying
whatever
the Kante
player
one. I think
was
you guys prefer
player
Kante
of that
because
game.
for me against France, Rodri was so much better than Kante in the game, but you guys clearly didn't think so.
No, I would say Rodri was better than Kante in the game, but I'm just not acting like what Rodri did in the game was spectacular. I don't think it was. And I wasn't watching the game being like, Rodri is spectacular. This game he's putting on a clinic. I thought he was just good
I think
the
he
game.
runs every game.
Rodri's good to put on if you're about to go to sleep. You put on a little montage of Rodri.
But who's watching
It'll
Rodri
put you to
highlights?
sleep.
That's not what you're watching him
But
for.
if he's,
No, but I'm-
if you're trying to say that he's going to be the best player in the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't it someone you want to be excited by? Like you want to watch what he's doing and be like, wow.
I don't think he's the best player in the world. I think he's the best midfielder in the world, but I don't think he's the best player in the world. I think Mbappe is the best player in the world.
I
I,
thought you said he
Best
was the best player in the world.
I don't.
I just
even-
said best midfielder. I didn't say best
I
player.
don't even know if best midfielder.
Of course, it's your opinion. You can argue, but I think what he can do
Let's go.
is
Well, I'm same as the other boys as well.
unmatched. Yeah.
I'm never putting on a Rodri highlight reel.
Yeah, I don't think you need
That
to.
that tells me
Does
things.
score screamers though.
I would put fucking.
Does score
I'd
screamers
put
though.
Kante highlight reels because that boy gets.
And I
gets
think
with it.
what makes Rodri the player he is for City, he was popping up with goals, he was doing this, he was doing things out of the ordinary where you would rate him like, wow, this guy, he's doing everything. In this tournament for Spain, I don't think he was doing that. I think he was just controlling the game as he does for City.
Question
But
for
that's
you.
not spectacular for me. That doesn't make you the best player in the tournament.
Do you think after what Jeremy said? Do you think had Rodri not scored those late minute winners for City, take out the goals from his games?
Yeah.
Do you think people would still majority?
Are you
would
asking
still
people
put-
or me?
I'm asking you for people. Do you
I
think
don't
people
know.
would still rate him as
I can't
one of the
answer
best?
that. I don't know. I assume
I can
so.
I can answer.
Yeah, if you,
It's
you can
fucking
ask yourself
no.
then.
It's fucking
But
no.
would I still rate him? Of course.
No, not you. I know you would rate him.
Yeah.
I mean, people that don't watch that much, but just see his name because
I
he
don't
scored the. That I reckon
Never, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
it's
Maybe
this
they
much of
wouldn't.
him being good,
Maybe they wouldn't, but that's
and then there's like this much of FOTMob.
maybe they
to do
wouldn't.
with it
But
because they see his name
I'm
pop
not,
up.
I'm not listening to those people ever for footballing takes, so
It's the same reason we slander
Don't
people
matter.
is what he's
Yeah.
getting praised for is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think so. Not
For-
by me.
Yeah, not you,
Yeah.
but I'm saying the people that vote for him.
What other people say.
Next player is Kylian Mbappe. 3, 2, 1. It's one outlier again. Tell me-
It's for a reason. It's for a reason.
okay.
Yeah, it's for a reason. I feel as though you're at the. He's almost at the peak of his powers. He turns 26 soon. I think 25 or 26.
25, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I
He's-
think he
I
is
think
25,
he's-
bud.
No, I think he
I
turns.
think he's already 25.
I think he turns 26 soon.
It must be January. I think his birthday is January.
Yeah, December he turns 26.
Yeah, all right. He turns 26 this year. He turns
He's old.
26 this year. The way Mbappe is playing to me, I definitely think he's the best player in the world, which is why I'm being harsh on his rating, because if he was probably better than Dembele in the tournament, and I wouldn't. Yeah,
Fucking
course he
yeah,
was.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't.
striker that came on.
So I don't expect.
Dembele's
I don't
fine.
expect somebody else to perform to the level that I expect Mbappe to perform, especially when everything is kind of set out for him perfectly. He's at a nation with a lot of talent. He gets to play in his preferred position, and his team should be dominant. And when he puts on a performance like that, they said it was because of the mask and because of the injury, but then he took off the mask and was still terrible. I think I saw a thing and they said that Mbappe's almost playing as though because he won the World Cup at 18, he has nothing left to prove for France, and he's playing like that. If he minus the ego and minus everything that comes with him being the best player in the world, I think France can go on and win. If he plays 9 and he plays in the middle, I think France can go on and win. And for me, he didn't do nearly enough in the games where he was playing. Was almost anonymous. Created a goal, and I think he scored 1 goal. But apart from that in the tournament, I thought he was pretty awful.
Bud, why'd you do C? Oh, Riley, actually, why'd you do C?
No, the same. Like, considering this guy is meant to be the talisman and the main guy, he just really underperformed. But like we were saying, he's clearly, obviously, an exceptional footballer.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to do C, but just didn't do what he needed to do for France. And to be fair, they had a pretty underwhelming performance as a whole nation.
Yeah.
But I think when you're the main guy, it just stands out more.
Facts.
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
agree.
The next player is Jude Bellingham. Three, two, one. Riley B.
I don't know. Like, for me, I think because he did actually come up with some big moments, like the goals were pretty essential, the ones that he did score.
Yeah.
So I guess you have to give him his flowers for that. But again, I think the same with Mbappe. Like, he did have a bit of an underwhelming performance, considering you're meant to be the guy, which he was painted out to be by everyone else. But yeah, I think the goals are kind of like what just put him over from being a C to a B for me.
Yeah, and I think I understand where Riley's gone B, because essentially a knockout tournament is about moments.
Agree.
It is only so much about performance, but if you get knocked out and have a good performance, nobody cares equally.
Yeah, they're not
So
going to remember.
I get why Riley's gone B, and he did score. He scored the winner in the first game, and he scored the one to send them to extra time. Overtime. Send them to extra time. Scored his pen. So he did the things that he had to do, and I don't think he was bad in other games. But I've gone C just because for him to be compared to the best players in the world and be getting player of the tournament shouts and Ballon d'Or shouts and all this, I feel like you have to perform at a level above. And for me, I'm just going to rank you against the players I've seen at that level play. And for me, I don't think he was anything special.
Yeah. Completely agree.
The next player is Lamine Yamal. Three, two, one.
A's across the board.
Not because I think he's the best player in the tournament or anything,
No.
but because I haven't seen a player at 16 do the things he did.
Yeah.
With going into games with the level of expectation that he did and still deliver. I think even in the final, he should have scored maybe 2.
Pickford just great saves.
For one of them. The second one, he should have.
Straight
should
at
have
him.
scored.
But
Yeah.
the level of expectation versus his performance, I think, outweighed a lot of players because he's 16 years old playing in the Euros
He started
for
in the
Spain,
Euros.
for the team that won the tournament. And he essentially, with the exception of Shaw, was making every fullback look subpar. So for me, I think for his age, I don't see how you could not give him an A.
Nah, there's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you go.
I think, honestly, if you had any other 16-year-old there and they scored 1 goal, you'd be like, that's like fantastic for them, because As a
16,
16-year-old to be
yeah.
doing that, let alone part of the winning team and be like a pivotal role in that, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
And the expectations should literally be nothing for him.
Just how he was affecting the game almost every game, even in the final. He's creating moments that lead to Spain scoring goals. His goal contributions throughout the tournament were high.
He had 5.
5,
in
right?
his first ever tournament.
And I think Ronaldo has 5 in Euros all time.
To be fair, and
So
he should have had so
Knockout,
many more
knockout.
goals as well.
knockout.
Like there were so many chances that he had.
Yeah, he
aside
he
from
missed
the
chances.
final,
Yeah.
My God, like he could have been top goal scorer. He really could have just.
Yeah.
If he had a bit more experience, I reckon he could have
Bro,
literally taken out everything.
He's 17 in one day,
Yeah.
and he's just
Crazy.
won an international tournament that people like dream of.
Yeah.
Yeah, knockout, sorry.
Yeah, Ronaldo's knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And the thing with him is he already understands football like a grown
At a high
grown
He
up.
plays like a grown
That's the
man.
difference. Like you can tell he knows what these moments mean. Like not many 16-year-olds. I know when I was 16, I didn't understand football the way I understand it now.
Yeah.
But I think
Even
he's already
Said
Fuck up.
yeah.
But like he's even like I feel like he knows.
He plays
what
with
moments
maturity.
mean.
It's so weird.
He knows what he has to do for his team. He knows how to impact games. Maybe he doesn't have to score. Maybe he doesn't have to assist. But he knows what he has to do. His role.
And for people who, like, I assume everyone watched the final, there were times where Spain were up and they would win the ball back after being under pressure, and Nico Williams would go to counter, but he'd like Lamine would just like slow the game down, calm it down. He wouldn't like just dribble and lose the ball, but he would just calm
Like a
it down,
normal
get it
16-year-old,
settled. And it's like for a 16-year-old, usually you just get the ball and they can't think, they're just dribbling.
Yeah, dribble, lose it, then they get yelled at.
Even for a 16-year-old to be lasting 90 minutes for me is
Insane.
like insane.
Yeah.
90 minutes of the most intense football in the history of football. This is the most intense football will ever be, like has ever been.
Yeah.
And he's lasting 90 minutes.
I think he's
Don't you only start playing full pitch at like 14 or something?
Yeah, the Barca academy, they only start playing I think at like 15 or 16
That's
full
crazy.
pitch.
Yeah, but like that's when you really deep it like that.
Yeah.
That's
He
crazy.
played 5 games for the under 17 Spain team and
straight up.
straight to the first team.
He looks like a player that's confident with his ability, not like cocky, not in a cocky way. Like he knows he's just confident. He's going into a game knowing he can do certain things that will impact a game,
Yeah.
no matter who's in front of him.
He's unbelievable,
But
man.
ever
And-
since that photo of Messi,
yeah,
destined for
facts. I
greatness.
saw that, and
I'm gonna need to get a
because all the
fact
people
that that's
take my
real
kid
is
to meet
facts,
Messi.
facts. All the people that were saying I was wrong for having Lamine as somebody who, like that makes you like football, makes you love football. Oh, you guys, I bet they don't feel that same way now.
Shout out to Barca for not taking that 250 mil
Yeah,
before tournament, like way before,
Yeah.
like ages ago. Imagine they needed it as well.
You know, every team was eyeing him when he was like 15 before he'd even made his first appearance for Barca.
Yeah,
He was on the books of every single club.
Barca needed like a lifeline because they were
Yeah,
out of
got
money.
it.
Now that's it. That's it done.
Let's go. We've got 2 more. William Saliba. Three, two, one. Okay, we've got 2 C's, 1 B, 1 A.
You want me to go?
Yeah, sure.
I think this is based off what I had said in the previous episode of to me he didn't look comfortable in where he was playing.
He did. Yep.
And from what I saw, I was like, that's not the Saliba I saw in the Prem. So, and I felt that was lower than the Prem level he was at, that I had rated him at. So it was only right to be like, if he is performing, if he's underperforming from what I've seen him in the Prem, it's only right to give him like a standard grading of like average.
Okay, Riley, same.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
Okay.
Couldn't agree less.
I couldn't agree less. Yeah, the only reason I didn't do an A is because there was moments where I felt like
I think
he
one moment.
had lapses of concentration. But for the majority of the tournament, he made every striker in the tournament look pathetic. And for me, he was up there with my guy Pepe.
For me, best centre back in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember a time where I've like stopped watching a game and my takeaway from the game was fuck, that centre back was good. And for me, that was watching France. They kept almost everybody to 0 throughout the tournament. They only scored fucking 3 goals and 1 from open play in the whole tournament. So for them to get through to the semi-final had to be because they had a great backline. And for me, he's playing next to one of the most mistake-prone centre-backs. His partner wasn't great. Upamecano, people can say he plays for Bayern, whatever.
He was good in the tournament.
Good because he had that guy next to him. That's why he was good. Because we've seen him with literally.
That backline is strong though.
You've seen him with everybody else.
Couldn't have had a good tournament.
Exactly.
Had a good tournament.
All
And
four of them are
Kunde
solid
went
defenders. Like they're like defend first type players.
Upamecano is not a fucking defend first type. He's a shit defender.
He's a very average
I'm saying that's his
mistake-prone defender.
player type. Just because he makes mistakes, that doesn't mean that's not his
For me,
player type.
Saliba completely shored up what was genuinely France's only weakness.
And you know who he replaced?
Yeah, he replaced Konate. Do I think they would have been better with Konate and Saliba? Yes.
Hell
definitely.
no.
Of course they would have.
Hell no.
Of course they would have.
Do you not remember what Australia did to Konate? They bullied that boy for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, remember what Australia did to Caicedo? They beat him 3-0. So what are you talking about Australia then?
I'm talking about Konate.
At least Konate's team won 4-1.
He has not played.
At least Konate's team won 4-1.
Caicedo
played against Australia and lost 3-0. Caicedo came to Australia and lost 3-0. Imagine being
season's done, you're still injured. What from? What have you been doing? Nothing.
Well,
the last player is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Sorry, bro.
Three, 2, 1.
Sorry, Chris.
Ronnie.
Sorry, Chris.
Can I just say firstly, if I was to give Martinez a rating for making Ronaldo's rating be D, it'd be this. Because why is he playing Ronaldo 120 minutes? The guy's almost 40 years old. Yeah. You're playing him 120 minutes and then you're expecting... He's obviously not got that in the locker.
How can you guys give him a D, though?
Jeremy, he didn't score a single goal.
It doesn't matter.
He's Cristiano Ronaldo. His game completely revolves around him scoring goals. He doesn't add anything else to the game. And for him to go to the tournament as captain, play every single minute of every game pretty much.
And every attack has to
but
end
what
with...
is your expectation of Ronaldo at 39?
It's not at 39.
It is. It has to be.
No, it was for me. Had he been brought
if he was coming up...
is at 16.
That's why it's a D. Because if this was Ronaldo in his prime, it would be E.
But it's not even that.
It shouldn't be that.
It's the striker and the captain of Portugal. That's what you got to judge it off as
Jeremy,
well.
they're playing him every game, 90 minutes, 120 minutes.
That doesn't matter.
And he's providing nothing. It is.
How can you be playing every moment of the football match? Every single moment and not create one?
Yeah.
He created a goal.
He got an assist.
It wasn't even it was a pass across goal. That
he did
normal Ronaldo would have just shot. That's not a moment. That's just
Jeremy.
I just don't know. I don't think. I think your expectations of Ronaldo.
He's the reason they go out of the tournament.
No,
if my expectations were Ronaldo, I don't even think Ronaldo is going to score. He'll have, he'll lead the line for Portugal, but he's not going to. I don't see how he was D level.
Question: You before the tournament, do you think he would have played every single minute of every?
But that's
game?
not on him.
No, but I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
No, I don't think so.
So that's why I think your rating is because of that. Because you didn't think he was going to go play every single minute of every game.
No, my rating is based on who I think Cristiano Ronaldo is today.
No, but I'm saying...
it's not a player that is fucking...
It shouldn't be of today.
It should be.
Nah.
That's exactly what it should be.
But
Upamecano today, you would have given him a lower rating.
We didn't rate Upamecano.
But during tournament, it wouldn't be what you had before tournament.
I'm saying if I rated Upamecano now, based on what I saw, I would have given him a C. Because I know he's bad. And he performed adequately.
But I'm trying to say is that...
Get a B. Probably get a B for the tournament.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
He would get a B.
If you're saying that, Cristiano Ronaldo was Saudi's league's top goal scorer this year on 35 goals.
Plays in Saudi.
He scored 35 and we talked about maybe the players that went to Saudi aren't that bad. We talked about that.
Yes, but we never have thought Ronaldo still is good.
But
nobody goes Ronaldo. If we would
I
have named the top 20 best strikers in the world, you guys wouldn't even put Ronaldo in there.
I'm not rating this to Ronaldo being the best in the world. I'm rating this to Ronaldo being whoever Ronaldo.
Yes,
I am. I'm rating this. I'm rating this to a guy who's relatively washed, and I think he's washed. But he
Would still
the
get
only
goals.
moments where I
you're
thought
not.
that could make him. Imagine Ronaldo scores 2 goals, they win. He gets the tournament as an A, right?
No.
They get knocked out. He's an A. I'm
Bro,
saying, if that happens.
A season and a
He
half
misses-
ago, he was in the Prem and was United's top goal scorer.
Is today Ronaldo in the top 20
No.
best strikers in the world?
No, he's not.
That's
anymore.
what's the point of
After
this
that,
though?
nah.
No,
I'll tell
he's not.
you.
No, he's not.
Is he
No,
today
he's
in the
not.
top 20? He's not.
He's not.
He's not. If another player in the top 20 had the tournament Ronaldo had, and nobody would be saying it was a B or D. They'd just be saying C. Maybe
say
they'd be
so.
saying
I'd say
maybe a
D.
couple. A couple would say D.
Of course.
Majority would say C.
Of course
that's
they would
irrelevant,
say-
though.
No, they wouldn't.
Name one
No,
other
they wouldn't.
similar option.
I'm saying a striker that's in the top 20.
Lukaku's probably top 20 strikers in the world.
Lukaku was awful in the games.
So was
No,
Ronaldo.
he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. No,
Yes,
he
he was.
wasn't.
Bar the
Would you
first
put-
game.
Would you
No,
put
he wasn't.
Messi top 10 top 20 strikers in the
He's
world?
not a striker.
He has been now.
He's not a striker.
Yes, he's been
Is
playing
Messi
striker.
a fucking striker? No.
He's been
not.
playing striker for
No,
his team.
You know it's not a striker. You
He
know
is
that.
literally striker for his team.
He was playing
They play
with
2
it.
up front.
Yeah, but
and
you
he
know
drops
he's not
in.
a striker. You know that.
Jez,
But you don't want to answer because you know that.
No,
what I'm
I don't
gonna
think
say.
Messi's a striker. So asking that question is.
But you
is
know
not,
why?
What's Harry Kane's
What?
tournament for you?
Fucking D. I'd say
And
D.
he scored 2 goals.
It's not about the goals. He was
then that's
awful.
what I'm saying. Ronaldo was awful.
He was awful.
Ronaldo was
wasn't
awful.
worse than Kane.
He was worse
No,
than
he
Kane.
was not.
And he
No,
had
he
no,
wasn't.
he was
No, he
worse than
wasn't.
Kane and
What?
had
Because
no
he got
moments.
something he doesn't normally
He was
get. an
worse than
assist.
Kane and
No,
had no
he wasn't.
moments in the whole tournament.
Bro, when have
He had no moments for the
if you
whole
talk about
tournament.
moments,
Well, they got knocked out
he should
earlier.
have. He should have won them
They
the
got
game.
knocked out earlier, but he had
Yeah.
no moments. He had a chance to score a pen, which he missed. People
Yeah.
miss pens, but
The chance
it's
against
a moment.
The chance against France. when he
France,
skied.
where he skied.
Yeah.
Do you think Ronaldo does that?
Well, it's not the same Ronaldo, but no, he doesn't do that.
It's not because it's not the same Ronaldo.
I think it's a
Because
D,
he's just
man.
finished.
I don't think. Yeah, he is finished, but we knew that going into the tournament.
But
that's why I'm saying, why are you thinking he's going to be worse?
It's not
in
to
the
that level.
tournament?
It's not to that extent.
You just said he's
finished.
finished.
Yeah,
Genuinely?
but that's why I gave
A
him a
finished
D.
player wouldn't get a D if you thought they were finished
No,
already.
not to that extent.
They
though.
just get a C.
I would expect Ronaldo
Genuinely,
to score
I
a penalty.
already
I
thought
would
he-
expect him to score that chance.
I already thought he
scored
was
his
finished.
pens in the shootout.
I already thought he was finished, but the performance was worse than what I thought
Exactly.
it was going to be.
It wasn't.
It was worse.
It was
than what I
worse.
thought.
Real
It could
quick,
never
though,
be worse.
Mahrez as right wingers, what's he to you? Like where
Right now,
Mahrez?
Mahrez,
Yeah, like just doesn't have to be an exact number, but
maybe 10 to 15 in the world.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
In the Saudi league, he finished 15 top goal scorer on 11 goals.
Yeah. But
Don't
Mahrez
get me
is
wrong,
at 37.
I know obviously positional wise and everything's a bit different, but 11 goals compared to 35. Coming into this competition, would you expect Cristiano Ronaldo not to score 1 goal?
Yes, I completely expected him to, because I thought he wasn't going to play as much as he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Bro.
then, yeah.
But then he filled that quota. He played all
filled
the
it.
games.
Filled both.
And then there's chances that he should be scoring. He didn't score. That's not because he's.
It's not like he
he's-
didn't get
he's-
service. He
It's not
was-
like I told him to beat a player. It was like 1-on-1, beat a player. It's inside the box and you sky a chance.
I'm not saying
and
he was
you've missed
good,
the penalty.
though. I'm not saying he was good.
No, but
I'm
that's
saying
not
he's what I
normal
expected
Ronaldo.
from Ronaldo.
Bar his what he did in Saudi. That's not normal Ronaldo.
If Ronaldo plays exactly how he did but scores, you guys are giving him an A. If he scores goals throughout the tournament but he plays the exact same, you're giving him an A.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I
are.
would.
No,
I
you
would
would
give him an A.
You'd
Yeah,
give
I
him a
would've.
B.
You would, because he's 37 and your expectation is just
You'd give him
score.
a B.
I
So
would've
if you
given him
meet
an
that
A.
expectation, you get an A.
I
No,
would have
you
given
get
him
a
an
B.
A.
No, you don't.
You get a B. If you do extra, you get an A. A is like above and beyond.
What do you
That's
mean?
like exceptional.
If Ronaldo had scored
That's the whole
2
reason
goals,
of an
maybe
A.
3 goals in this tournament, I would have given him an A for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's different to what I'm saying.
He
You're
scored
saying
0.
exactly to him, not to
scored
me.
0.
I'm saying,
But I'm saying,
And his performances
but I'm
were
saying
bad.
his performances were the same.
Yeah, but I'm
and
saying
he didn't score.
I know.
So I'm giving him a C.
I'm not.
But if he scored goals, I would have given him an A
I'm not. He missed
because of my
missed the
expectation
pen,
of
big
Ronaldo.
moment for me. Just
Let's quickly go on to United signing Josh
Jimmy Chan.
Zirkzee for 35 mil.
We giving him a better grade? Or?
Another
Maybe
striker.
say that again because I said Jimmy Chan in it.
Oh, okay. Let's quickly go to United and their signings. It looks like they mean business. They signed Josh Zirkzee from Bologna for 35 mil. What does this first of all mean for United fans? And then we'll go on to what does this mean for Højlund?
Yeah.
Because it was just last year they signed Højlund for 70 mil.
Forgot that guy's there.
Started slow, but he went on a nice scoring streak. Ended the season a bit slow. But now they've just gone, signed Zirkzee for 35 mil. We've had a good season for Bologna. are United going to be going in a different direction? Does this mean they're going to be playing a different system? What? It's the same manager, so what really
It gives them that
is
option
going to happen?
of playing a different system.
Mm.
I think they're different archetype players.
Definitely.
One's more pin, and the other can do a lot of different things. He can drop in. He can be a false nine. He's better on the ball, I think, technically as well.
He is better on the ball.
So I think it gives
Xerxes.
Ten Hag more options rather than having to just stick with one striker and one being out for 8 months a year.
And that's why I think it is a good signing. But what does it mean for Højlund? Because I think for United, it's a good signing. Bringing in good players is always a good signing. And 35 mil in this market is not a lot to
Nothing.
spend.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
That's a good amount for a striker that's proved himself in a league.
Yeah.
He's coming to your league
Good age.
and at a good
Yeah.
age, has good attributes. He's quick. He's good on the ball, can finish. He's strong. But
Techie.
what does that mean
I think,
for United and the direction? Because the players they're linked with so far since this new ownership,
And the new
football director, all this stuff, they've been linked with De Ligt, Xerxes,
Braithwaite.
Jared Braithwaite. No, I thought you said the one that played for Barca. Braithwaite.
Daryl.
No, not Daryl.
Horses.
Lenny
Martin.
Lenny Euro. They're linked with Ugarte.
Yeah.
Ugarte, Manuel
And
Ugarte.
Fofana.
Yeah, so they've
Yeah.
been linked with a lot of good players and a lot of young players. What does this mean for United going into this new season? And is this Ten Hag's last straw?
chance. Yeah.
Because if they do sign young players, that means that
He's building.
at any moment Ten Hag can go because the next coach coming in isn't stuck with fucking 8
Casemiro,
Casemiros
yeah.
and
Evans
and Maguire and
Amrabat.
Amrabat. Exactly, Amrabat's gone back to Fiorentina now.
It's probably best for both worlds, that one.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think United mean business this season based on this signing?
I think it's just a bit of a cleanup. I think Ten Hag will still play Højlund first, just because he has Prem experience now of a year compared to someone that just bought. But buying him this early does make you wonder, like, he could just start playing in preseason, and if he does better, he could just start.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't actually really know what this means
Especially as a
for the
young
striker
kid,
option.
though.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty... I reckon that would definitely rattle him a bit.
Høj-
Like, if you're
Højlund?
young, you've had a bit of a shaky season,
Yeah.
and then you've got someone coming in that's had a season like that and then that big presence to then all of a sudden come for your position, that's probably... He definitely wouldn't have had to deal with that before.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I reckon that's a bit shaky for him.
Xerxes
Could affect his performances.
Yeah, Xerxes is very much a number 9. I
Yeah.
could not see him playing anywhere. And Højlund,
Exactly.
I genuinely don't think he has the technical ability to play anywhere else other
Not
than
wing, not
than
left
nine.
forward
Yeah, I don't
or
think he
whatever
can play.
Martial did.
I don't think he can play out wide.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, but what's going to happen with him? It seems as though it's one on the bench and one starting.
And also United, Sancho
He's
Might be
back at
staying,
training.
yeah.
apparently they've patched things up with Ten Hag.
It's a joke.
But do you see this Sancho thing now working out? Did Ten Hag get so sick of watching Anthony every week that he said, I need to get him back? Did Ten Hag feel like Sancho is the answer to United's right wing issues? I mean, they have brought in Garnacho, they have brought in Ahmed Diallo back from loan.
Yeah.
Or
History now as well.
does this mean Rashford's going?
Yeah. I think
Rashford.
he's based off Sancho's form after he left United. It would not make sense for them to just sell him off for no profit, the prices that he
Were
was
being linked,
leveled
yeah.
at was like 30. So it's like, it's not smart enough to be like, okay, let him go. Because one, he was performing really good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, I think that, as well as like pressure from the board, what are you going to do with this kind of questions? Like, we advise maybe not sell him, maybe amend what happened and see if he works preseason. You got a whole preseason, things don't work out, then you can sell him like at the end. I think it's probably like a lifeline for both in the sense. Like they'll probably like keep him. We don't want to sell him yet.
Yeah.
And for you, if maybe things don't work out, then get rid of him or something. Or like, but I don't think it's like, it's a good problem to have, I think. You got a player that's been in relatively good form, come back, things look to be all good, So it's just like, does he play him? We'll see. If he doesn't, he could just leave also.
Yeah, true.
So it's just like, I have no problem with it. I'm glad he did what he did.
If
I
they
said
both
Ten Hag was wrong.
continue and Sancho ends up playing, then United fans have the right to be angry at either Ten Hag or if whoever apologized.
Yeah.
They have the right to be angry at either of them because it's a job at the end of the day. It's be more professional. How can you let him go out on loan completely if you wanted him to stay and play? If he's still in your plans, if he comes and plays,
It's
if you were just willing to accept him not apologizing, or if Sancho was willing to just accept the coach and not apologize. It's
It
The
wasn't
fans
like
have
an
a right to
ego
be
thing.
angry.
Like
yeah,
you just because you didn't say sorry.
you wasted
you're
time.
Like, F off.
Yeah, you wasted time.
But do you
Yeah.
think the fans will forgive him if he can like get these signings?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, if they build another. Last season they had a strong transfer window as well, and the season before they had a strong transfer window. But both seasons they went into, and I guess the first season they didn't underperform, but this season heavily underperformed.
And I think this transfer window makes more sense. You can see that it's not just buying stupid players. It's actually like progressive. Like it's like progressing from your mistakes.
Two centre backs who would bring a lot of help for them, and then
100%.
maybe Martinez can play left back, which
Gives you more depth there.
Especially
Yeah.
with Shaw's
Different
injuries.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaw's
And
good though.
I think that is what this football director is going to do. It's going to be building a squad that, because right now, if Ten Hag got fired with the squad they had last year, a new manager that come in has to do a completely new
headache,
rebuild
yeah.
that adds another 2-3 years onto the process. Whereas now, if they make the signings that Euro, fucking Delit, Branthwaite, they just signed Xerxes, it means that a new manager can come in and essentially build again, because the profiles they have in of the right age, they've got potential, and it means that they're not going to be stuck with just a bunch of old fucking.
I'm annoyed a little bit
Wood.
actually.
So
Like, as a
You think it's looking
opposing
nice?
fan. Yeah, it's looking good. Like they're doing the right things. Like it feels like they're listening to what everyone's been saying. So it's kind of like fuck. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
As a opposing team's fan, I would want United to keep everyone. Keep re-sign Amrabat.
Facts.
Give
Casemiro 10
Casemiro more money.
start
Yeah.
Johnny Evans again.
Bring back De Gea for beef.
Yeah, true.
Controversy.
True.
And that's another thing. Why is no one picking him up, De Gea?
They've just
I
realised.
don't know, bro. I don't know.
Give him like a mil.
Yeah.
Fucking lifeline,
Just a
mate.
quick meal.
We can sign him. Oh, we don't
You know
need
what,
him. We got
we don't
fucking Aiden, bro.
I feel as though this is the worst. We're all in the same boat, us three. This is the worst time to get a new manager because of Euros and Copa America. By the time the coach gets to like see all the players and coach all the players, it's too late because now all the players are going on a 3-week holiday that we're playing in the Euros. By the time they get back, and we had a lot of players away.
Not Mudryk, bro. Mudryk's been putting in.
He's been at straight to training up.
Of
Well,
course.
for us, Gakpo, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Luis Diaz, Trent, Gomez are all away now on
Luis
holiday.
Diaz's dad.
They're all away on holiday.
Did you guys see Luis Diaz's dad is getting annoyed at people asking him for photos?
Of him.
I swear.
What?
Yeah, like asking him for
You should be
photos.
grateful of his freedom,
Yeah.
bro.
You're grateful that he's back.
Yeah.
He just mustn't
But
like
yeah, so now,
price of fame, eh?
yeah, facts. Who are we gonna? I don't know. Like us not being linked with anyone. This is the first time I'm just like sitting here, just not being linked with anyone.
To be fair though, is that worse than you just getting disappointed all the time?
Nah, I'm rather sit and not be linked with anyone.
Yeah.
'Cause
Because you
I
were
just-
getting
I'm-
disappointed a lot.
yeah, I'm peaceful. I'm
You had
just-
blue
yeah,
balls.
Last year was
Facts.
horrible for you
Facts.
guys.
As a full 360, he had blue balls all last summer.
Oh, bro, I got the screenshot still
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
If he wants me to drop him, I'll drop him.
The
3
only-
likes, I'll drop him.
The only
three
person
likes,
we've
I'll-
seen a couple light links this window. The heaviest link is Guehi, and that would be VVD replacement. But the coach is Dutch, and Van Dijk's
You know what?
captain still. So
I don't think anything's changed from Liverpool. I think you've changed the way you're looking at transfers.
nah, a lot's changed. A lot's
I
changed.
think you've changed.
Nah, a lot's
We
changed.
absolutely need to go.
A lot's changed.
Yeah. Right, you have train tonight as well?
Yeah.
Oh shit, what time?
6:45.
Oh fuck. Guys, what a episode. Comment down below if you're a Liverpool supporter, who you want signed by Liverpool. And if you're not a Liverpool supporter, just comment who is the most realistic piece of business that you would be happy with. That's a good
For your
That's a
club.
good for your club. For
Shout
your
out
club.
Argentina.
Oh yeah, Messi. Nice.
We'll talk
nice.
about it next episode.
Yeah.
Lina Scaloni.
Thank you and good night.